Hello, it's Ronnie. It is Wednesday. Nope, it's not Wednesday. It's Thursday night, sunny night in Seattle, and I want to talk about superpowers. So I put on my super cape, just like we used to use when we were kids. You know, that big towel, and didn't have a big safety pin, so I used one of these bowl clips. And my supervision goggles. So let's talk about superpowers, and I'm going to talk about mine. Because I have one. Actually, I have several superpowers, but we're just going to talk about one. Because if you've noticed any of my posts this week, it has all been about resilience. And I've talked about resilience. So I'm going to take off these glasses so I can read my notes a little bit better. I'm totally honest with you, just got home from workout. And it was a rough one. And when we're done, I may not be able to get up from this chair. That's how sore I am. But I went. So that's a good thing. A very good thing. So resilience. How do we get resilience? How do we get a superpower? A superpower is something we do really, really, really well. And a lot of times we develop it and we don't even know it. Yep. A lot of times we don't even know it. So what's your superpower? Drop it in the comments. If you're here right now, put it in the comments. If you're here on the replay, just let me know you're here. Drop it in the comments. What's your superpower? A lot of, some common ones are, I am a good connector. I am empathetic. I am organized. I'm a good listener. I'm generous. I'm insightful. Mine is resilient. I'm resilient. There's been a lot go on in my life. Some by my own doing, some not by my doing. And I've always bounced back. Always. So resilience is bouncing back. So if you want to know how to be resilient, I'm your person. I'm the person who can help you work on that and talk you through some things. So what makes resilience so special? The Oxford Dictionary, their definition is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness. I don't necessarily know that I'm tough, but I do bounce back quickly. That's a subjective word, so sometimes it might be quickly, sometimes slowly. It really just depends on how long I want to sit in the stuff. Some people call it crap. And I've gotten better at bouncing back over the years. I've gotten better at going, that happened, and yep, I learned some things, and yep, I'm going to move on. Oftentimes people ask me, how did you have had so much go on in your life, and sometimes I don't even tell them the half of what's gone on in my life. Sometimes I just tell them a little bit, and they go, how do you do it? You've been dealt a lot of crappy cards. I don't know any different. They're the cards I wasn't dealt. I don't know any different. So I don't know how I've done it, to be honest with you, but I do know some things that have helped me. So that's what I want to talk to you about. Elizabeth Edwards says, resilience is accepting your new reality, even when it is less good than the one you had before. You can fight it. You can do nothing but scream about what you've lost, or you can accept that and try to put together something that's good. And I love that quote because that's kind of what I've done. There are times when I fought it. There are times when I've screamed about it. There are times when I've held on really tight to the life that I had because I thought that's what I wanted, until I was able to accept, okay, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen the way I thought it was. And if you read my social media last week, it was about expectations. So a lot of where I got caught up was in expectations. I expected my life to turn out a certain way. I expect people to act a certain way. People expected me to act a certain way. Doesn't always work out that way. So, I would say the definition talked about toughness, and I do have a toughness. And I'm not sure that helps me always with I'm not sure it always helps me. Let's just put it that way. Because we're going to talk through a couple of things, and one of the things that we talk about is being able to reach out and ask for help. And if you're a if you've got toughness, if you got that, it's a little more difficult. Kind of goes back to not last week, but the week before when I talked about vulnerability and that belief I had that if you were vulnerable, you couldn't be tough. If you were vulnerable, you couldn't ask for help. So that toughness definition, that toughness that I've developed, that armor that I put up around me, it may not be so beneficial. I apologize for the light, but it's that time in Seattle, and that's where I am. Resilience, as I think about it, it's really a muscle that you build up. It's, I went to work out today. We didn't do a whole lot of weightlifting, but golly, we did a lot of running. But it's a muscle that you build up, and you learn how to look at it different ways. You learn how to look at resilience as finding a gift in something. A lot of times, even as shitty as it is, sorry, Mom, I will look at, what am I learning from this? What am I getting out of this? This showed up in my life for a reason, and I don't know what the reason is. I'm supposed to learn something from it. I always know that's the reason something shows up, but I don't always know what I'm supposed to learn or why. So I kind of have to clue into that. But one of the first things I know that I do is I build a belief in my ability to cope with things. When I go through crap, knee deep, waist deep up to my shoulders, I can start to be overwhelmed. I can start to sit in it. I can start to go, oh, poor me. But when I remember that, you know what, you've gone through hard stuff before, you can do this, you can deal with it, you can cope with it, and you can move through it. You can shovel that crap out of the way, you can shovel it from around you, and you can keep going. And so that's a belief that I've developed within myself, is that I can always come out on the other side. There's always a way for me to get to the other side, as awful as it may feel, and as bad as it may feel, and as crappy as it may feel, I can get to the other side. So that's the first thing I do. First thing, I taught reading. Can you tell? The second thing, and this one's a little bit tougher for me, I'll be honest with you, but it's really important. And I've kind of learned this through 12-step programs. Well, 12-step program, I've only been in one, but the one I've been in is pretty much like all the others. When you need help, you reach out. You reach out for support. So that's where that toughness piece sometimes gets in the way for me, is because I can do it myself. I can get through this. I've gotten this far all on my own. I can do it. Well, I know that I can't always do it by myself. Sometimes I need to reach out for support. Now, this kind of goes back to, when I was going through a divorce or going through some tough times, it meant accepting people bringing over meals. It meant accepting having someone do something for me. It meant accepting that, someone was going to come and take my kids somewhere for me, because I just couldn't do it at that moment. So that's one of the places that I sought out support. The other place is if you need support with a counselor or a coach, gosh, that's a great place to reach out. And I have done that in the past too. So I've had coaches, many, many coaches. I've had counselors as well, therapists. And I'll give you how this plays out for me, not for everybody. And I will never tell you not to have a counselor or a therapist. I will never do that. If it's working for you, keep doing it. Okay. If you have been there a long time, maybe you might want to try some other options. So one of the things that I found out was my counselor, I would always leave feeling like I was broken. I would always leave feeling like there was something wrong with me, like I couldn't figure this out. And the counselor was always telling me, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. And I'm going, I don't need to do anything. First off, never tell an alcoholic they need to do something, because they're immediately going to go, no, I don't. Nope. Don't need to do that. So when they tell me I needed to do something, it was like, and then I'd go and I'd tell them the same things over and over again. And it was more looking back than looking forward. So that's when I discovered a coach. And for me, coaching and what I do with people is We look forward. We deal with that stuff. Yeah, we're going to put it up on we're going to take care of it, but we're really going to take care of it in the service of moving forward. We may not find out why, we may not know why, but we don't always have to know why to move forward. You know, we can move forward without knowing why things happen. You know, that's why I like to say it happened because I'm supposed to learn something. Don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to move forward to keep going. So coaching, any of the coaches I've ever had, and I've had a business coach, I've had a coach for personal stuff that's going on, and I've had just a coach to kind of help me get my goals. So I've had a couple of different renditions of coaches. And I highly suggest coaches. If you have never had one, even if you think your life is perfect, a coach is a wonderful thing. Just let me tell you that. Number 3, okay, we've had 1, build a belief in your ability to cope. Number 2, reach out for support. Number 3, talk about what you're going through. Okay, 12-step program is perfect for this. You talk about what you're going through. You know, I'm here. This is my story. I feel this, and you'll get to hear other people who feel the same way. So your 12-step program, it's working for you. Keep going. It's a good thing. I reach out to trusted friends, or I reach out to my coach, because a lot of times my coach can say, have you thought you might be feeling this because of this? Or why might you be feeling that way? What does that bring up for you? What feelings are you experiencing? Because I know for me, I can't always put a label on the feeling. And, you know, when I was working with my coach last week, something that we were working on, that light's bugging me. So I'm sorry, I'm just like squirreling around here. My coach and I were working on something, and I kept saying, I don't know. Here's the beautiful thing about that. In order for you to not know something, you have to know. Okay, just think about that for a minute. In order to not know something, you have to know. So if I tell you not to think of a purple elephant, the first thing you have to do is think of the purple elephant before you can not think of it. So you have to know what a purple elephant looks like before you can not think about it. Make sense? Drop a comment in the comment boxes and let me know what you think about that. Was that like a whoa or a mic drop or something like that? Was that just, or you're going, she's crazy? That woman's crazy. Sometimes I am. Just saying. I want to give you a warning about this particular one, to talk about what you're going through. Social media is not the place to do it, because if you're talking about what you're going through in social media, what you'll find is people who support you in staying stuck. That's kind of nice that way, isn't it? Kind of looks like I've got a design on my face. People will support you. People will say, oh, I feel so bad for you that you're going through all of this crap. And I, you know, or you'll find people who go, oh, it was so much worse for me. And you'll go, where'd that come from? Talk about it with somebody who can actually serve you. And what I mean by that is somebody who can ask you questions, not tell you you're crazy, not tell you to be stuck in it, not support you in staying there, but ask, guide you to the next step. Coach, trusted friend, minister, your sponsor in your 12-step program, whoever. Social media is not the place to be building your resilience. Let me tell you, not the place. And there's a lot of people who do it. My ex isn't paying my child support. No. Okay. That's sad. It really is. That didn't happen to me, but it's sad when it does happen. But if you were trying to build resilience, you don't do it through sharing it on social media. You talk to a friend who, if I were talking to you about it, I say, okay, what are you learning from it? You have the ability to overcome it. You have the ability to be bringing in the extra income that you need. How can you do that? So that's number 3. Number 4. Gosh, all of these are coming from 12-step programs. I never even really thought about it, but Serve others. Serve others. When you're going through stuff and you're building that resiliency muscle, the best way to move through it is to work with someone else, serve someone else, provide something for someone else. And I'm not talking about handing them $100. I'm talking about work at the food bank. I'm talking about help a homeless person get somewhere. I'm talking about take somebody to the hospital if they need to go to the hospital. I'm talking about calling somebody up that you know is hurting. Doesn't have to be huge, but I'll tell you what, this has been my experience. When I'm going through something and I serve somebody else, it makes what I'm going through seem so trivial a lot of times. It makes my life seem really good. It makes me see that I can get through this. And it also gives me an opportunity to forget what I'm going through for a little bit. So it gives me time to kind of, when you're working out and you take a break to kind of get your heart rate down or something like that, that's what this does. It gives you a break. It gives you a breather. It gives you time to breathe so that you can go back in and build up that muscle again. Okay. So if we think of resiliency like building a muscle, it gets torn down. Your muscle gets torn. And that's how you build muscles is you put little micro tears in them. They heal and then you build them back up. You keep doing the same thing over and over again after you get those little micro tears. And that's how the muscle is built. Same with resilience. No different. The muscle's here rather than here in your guns. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. That's a story of how I built my resilience. This is all in my blog post. So if you haven't read my blogs, I don't know that they'll win a Pulitzer Prize, and they're very conversational, very easy to read. I don't use a whole lot of big words. If I do, I've had to look them up, to be honest with you, because I don't speak in big words very often. Resilience is a big word for me, to be honest with you. But here's the deal. I'm so excited for this piece. The first 3 people who text the word coaching to 206, there's a mistake there, 206-309. 6580 will get a 1-hour coaching session designed just for you. Okay, let me see if I can fix that while we're online. 206-309. There we go. 6580. Okay, the first 3 people. Okay, I have to tell you, an hour of my coaching time is $300. That's just the bottom line, $300. So let's do it. Do you have a limiting belief you want to get rid of? Are you stuck? Do you feel like, are you really stuck? Is there, my educator friends, this one's for you. Educators, what are you going to do after you retire? Have you been thinking about a career change? I can't think of how many administrators I know who've been talking about changing careers, changing positions, doing something different. If nothing else, let's talk about setting some goals for you so that you can figure out what you're going to do your next step. Retirement's not that far away for most of the people I'm talking to. You have options. So, not that you hate your job, not saying that, but let's talk about options. So, the first 3 people, are you going to be one of them? To text the word coaching to 206-309-6580. You get a free 1-hour coaching session. Moms. Oh my gosh, moms, your kids are leaving, graduation's coming up, you're going to be empty nesters. How many of you are going, what do I do now? You may not be doing that yet because it's still a pretty busy season, but in a few months you'll be going, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do with all my kids gone. What am I going to do? I don't really have a purpose. Do I find a job? Do I not find a job? I don't really want a job, but what am I good at? Let's talk. That's what this session is for. Let's figure some things out and bust through some things for you. Okay, moms, let's do it. Or executives, corporate world executives, tired of what you're doing. You know that there's more out there. You know that you're meant to do more, and you just don't know what it is. You don't know what gifts you have. Let's talk. We can do it for free if you're one of the first 3 to text the word coaching to 309-6580. Okay, that's all for that. I just want to do one plug really fast. This is my Facebook group that is up and going, and we're having a lot of fun. We're seeing a lot of good affirmations, tips for living, daily living videos. We'll go in some live coaching in there so when we get just a tad bit bigger, probably. But it's a lot of fun, and I would love to invite you to join that group. If you're not sure what I'm all about, you're not sure what this NLP stuff I talk about is all about, you're not sure what mindset's all about, how can an affirmation help you? Join my Facebook group. It's free. What have we got to lose? Okay, so just go search for Empowered Daily Living on Facebook, and we'll get you in the group. Anyway, that's me tonight. I put on my superpower cape, and I put on my extra vision goggles to get prepared for you tonight. And I hope you enjoyed this and you found a lot of value. If you did, I would love it if you would share this. That's the ultimate gift anyone could give me, is to share this to either someone you know who needs it, someone you know who would enjoy it, someone who would just laugh at these crazy goggles that I have. So share it with somebody else, post it, share it all over the place. I would feel honored. So anyway, have a great night. I'm going to go take an Epsom salt bath so I can move in the morning, because the workout today was the 2 days in a row, and talk about tearing down micro muscle or micro tears in my muscles. Yeah. Okay. Have a good night, everybody.